Right. What fresh lunacy is this from Sweden? Honestly, you think you've seen it all. You've watched jets do loop-the-loops. You've seen them hang in the air like an angry wasp. You've even seen that Russian thing, the Cobra, where the plane rears up like a startled horse. Impressive, sure, for about 5 minutes. Then you go back to wondering what's for tea. But now, the Swedes of all people have decided to rewrite the laws of physics. And when I say rewrite, I mean they've taken the rule book, scribbled all over it in crayon, and then set it on fire. What am I talking about? I'm talking about their little fighter jet, the Gripen. It's always been a bit of an underdog, hasn't it? The sensible choice. The Volvo of the skies, if you will. Reliable, safe, probably comes with a good warranty, and excellent cup holders. But then someone in Sweden, possibly after too much fermented herring, decided that sensible was boring. They decided their little Gripen needed to do something utterly, magnificently, and terrifyingly impossible. And so it seems they've gone and done it. The boffins are speechless. The generals are choking on their cigars. The Gripen, specifically the latest Gripen E, was pulling off moves that would make a seasoned astronaut throw up in his helmet. We are talking about maneuvers that simply should not be possible for an aircraft with wings and a jet engine. And it's brilliant. So, what is this miracle maneuver? Well, the Swedes, with their typical flair for dramatic understatement, haven't officially named it yet. But I've heard whispers, and the name that's sticking is the Ostgötasladen. Roughly translated, it means the Ostgöta skid, named after the region where Saab, the makers of this airborne lunatic, have their main factory. This is a skid that defies gravity, common sense, and quite possibly several international treaties on witchcraft. Imagine this. The Gripen is flying along, minding its own business, perhaps on its way to deliver some crisp bread. Suddenly it stops. Well, not quite stops, but it decelerates so violently it's like hitting a brick wall made of air. Then, while still at an impossibly low speed, it pivots. It's utterly disorienting to watch. So, how in the name of Thor's hammer is the Gripen E doing this? Is it powered by mythical Norse gods? Does it run on distilled ABBA tunes? Not quite, though that would be spectacular. The truth, as ever, lies in some fiendishly clever engineering. The Swedes, you see, are not just good at sensible cars and impossible-to-assemble bookcases, they are also masters of making things fly in ways they really shouldn't. And they do it with a blend of brute force and digital witchcraft. First up, there's the engine. It's a General Electric F414, a good, solid American engine. But the Swedes have tinkered. They've probably added some special Swedish go-faster bits. More importantly, there are whispers, strong whispers, of an incredibly advanced three-dimensional thrust vectoring nozzle. Think of it as a very, very angry garden hose nozzle on the back of a rocket. It can direct the engine's immense power not just forwards, but up, down, left, right, and probably in dimensions we haven't even discovered yet. This is key to that insane on-the-spot pirouette. Now, having an airframe that can bend like Beckham and an engine that can shove you sideways is all well and good, but you need a brain to control it. A very, very big brain. Because no human pilot, not even the Stig's airborne cousin, could possibly manage the sheer complexity of what the Gripen E is doing during the Ostgötasladen. The forces involved, the minute adjustments needed every millisecond, it's just too much for our puny human minds. And that's where the Swedish digital sorcery really comes into its own. The Gripen E is packed with computers, not just one or two, but a whole network of them. They're running software so advanced, it's probably sentient and demands a decent coffee break every few hours. This isn't just a fly-by-wire system, this is fly-by-the-will of an insanely clever algorithm. Section 5. Dogfights? The other bloke won't even know what hit him. For decades, the art of the dogfight has been evolving. From the biplanes of World War I, circling each other like angry bees, to the missile duels of the Cold War, it's always been about getting on your opponent's tail, getting into that lethal 6 o'clock position. But what happens when your opponent can simply say, nope, and disappear from your sights, only to reappear on 6 missile already halfway there? That's the question pilots of every other fighter jet are now asking themselves, probably with a considerable amount of swearing. The Ostgötasladen, and the extreme agility it represents, fundamentally breaks the traditional dogfight. All those hard-learned tactics, all those years of training to outturn, outclimb, outmaneuver your foe, they're suddenly much less relevant. How do you counter a jet that doesn't play by the established rules of aerial engagement? Section 6. Making generals spill their very expensive coffee. The bigger picture. The implications of the Gripen E's newfound party trick go far beyond the individual dogfight. This isn't just a tactical advantage for a single pilot. This is a strategic game changer. Air forces around the world spend billions, trillions even, on achieving air superiority. They buy hugely expensive stealth fighters, develop complex networks, and train pilots for years. And now, a relatively affordable, unassuming Swedish jet has just thrown a very large, very agile spanner in their very expensive works. Generals are probably having kittens. Large, angry, Swedish-speaking kittens. Think about it. If you have a fighter that can dominate the close-in fight so comprehensively, it changes the calculus of air power. Suddenly, those stealth fighters, designed to avoid detection and strike from afar, might find themselves in a knife fight they're not equipped for if a Gripen gets close. The Gripen E, with its advanced sensors and data links, is no slouch at beyond visual range combat either. But now it has an ace up its sleeve if things get messy. Section 7. Why your multi-billion-dollar wonder jet is now a bit obsolete. Let's be honest. For years, the big players, America, Russia, China, have been pouring money into their fifth-generation fighter programs. Stealth, super cruise, networked everything. And they are undoubtedly very impressive machines. They look menacing. They cost as much as a small country's GDP. They have press releases written in very serious, very technical language. But here's the rub. They were all designed to fight the war, or at least the war everyone. And the Gripen E has just gatecrashed their very exclusive, very expensive party. The problem with many of these mega fighters is that they're big and heavy. Section 8. So, the Gripen. Basically, it's the Stig, but with missiles. Right, let's sum this up, shall we? The Saab Gripen E, that plucky little jet from the land of sensible Volvos and incomprehensible furniture instructions, has just done something extraordinary. It's performed a maneuver, the Åskådningsladden, that has left aviation experts slack-jawed and rival air forces frantically scribbling on notepads. It's not just a clever trick, it's a fundamental shift in what we thought was possible in aerial combat. It's like finding out your quiet librarian aunt is also a ninja assassin. Surprising and deeply impressive. This isn't just about one fancy move, though. It's about the technology that enables it. The advanced thrust vectoring, the brilliant fly-by-wire system, the incredible sensor fusion, and an airframe that's as agile as a cat on a hot tin roof. It's a complete package, designed by people who clearly understand that in a fight, being smarter and quicker often beats being bigger and more expensive. The Swedes have played a blinder. They've built a jet that can think, dance, and fight like nothing else out there. The impact? Well, it's huge. Dogfight tactics will have to be rewritten. Air combat strategies will need a complete rethink. Nations will look at their current fighter fleets and wonder if they've backed the wrong horse. The Gripen E has shown that innovation, clever engineering, and a willingness to challenge conventional thinking can lead to truly game-changing results.